Hey everybody, Justin here with From Zero to Studio, and today we're talking guitars. Now, is it possible to get a wide stereo guitar sound from a single guitar track? The answer is yes. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily create a second guitar track while your guitar is sitting in its case. So I always advocate for double tracking a true secondary guitar performance. It can take more time for recording and editing that you have to do, but the result sounds much more natural because of the slight inconsistencies between the played parts. However, there may be times where recording a second part isn't feasible, or it might not even be necessary. For instance, maybe you're just recording a demo of your song. You're putting all your parts together, trying to get a vision of how the final guitar sound is going to come across in this track, and you can easily do this trick just to avoid having to record a second guitar track. It's just going to allow you to get the big picture to decide if you're headed in the right direction with your parts. Another reason you might do this, maybe you're just unable to get a second guitar track for some reason. You might have been borrowing some gear from a friend, or maybe you recorded at another studio and you no longer have access to those tools. Or maybe you're mixing a song for somebody else and they sent in only one guitar track with their project. For me personally, I've had quite a few projects sent in for mixing that only contained one track for guitars, and this trick works every time. Alright, so here's the acoustic guitar track we're working with. So the first thing we're going to have to do is create a duplicate of this guitar track and pan them left and right. Although we now have a guitar on each side, it's still going to sound like it's being played up the center, only louder because they are the exact same performance. So I'm going to show you 3 easy ways, including my favorite method, that you can make these sound like 2 guitars. Each of these will work just fine, so just use whatever you're most comfortable with. So the first way you can do this is by simply moving over the second track. While this isn't my favorite method because it's taking that track and sliding it off of its locked placement on the grid, I have used this and it works. It can leave more room for error because it's difficult to really know exactly how far you're moving the track, unless you change your grid settings, but generally somewhere between 20 and 40 milliseconds is ideal. If using this method, I'll typically play the song and slide the track around until it feels just right. So you'll hear that if you start going too far, these can really feel off time from each other. Somewhere around 30 to 35 milliseconds felt pretty good for this track. So the next way you can do this is by using plugins like delay. You can use a simple delay on one of the tracks and set it to the same 20 to 40 milliseconds, but make sure that the amount of delay is set to 100% wet. That way we are only hearing the delay effect. So I'm going to play this in bypass mode, and then I'm going to enable it so you can hear it with the effect. So that definitely widened it up a bit with just a few clicks of the mouse. You can also use another plugin such as Waves Doubler or another plugin that came with your DAW, and these can provide great results as well. When using the Waves Doubler plugin, I like to route both mono tracks to a stereo bus or group track. So let's add those to a group and then add that plugin on that track. I use this Waves plugin quite a bit for doing this, and the best part is that they have a guitar doubler preset that already sounds great. That preset is called Stereo Guitar Please. With this plugin, you also have the option to completely remove or blend in a desired amount of the original signal. I also like to add a small amount of reverb on that bus channel. It just makes the false double feel a bit more natural. You can use a simple room verb or even like a standard Studio A preset. So let's add a reverb on here. The third and final way, and this is my most favorite way to create a double track from a single guitar, is to cut and paste sections from other parts of the song. For instance, if your chorus is played exactly the same way the second time around, you can cut the second chorus and paste it onto a new track at the first chorus. Pan these tracks left and right, and you'll need no special processing on your tracks. This provides a true, doubled, and natural performance. Before we do this, let's remove the plugins on our tracks and delete that second guitar track. So this second half of the loop is played exactly the same as the first. Let's cut and paste that part onto the second track, and you'll then have two separate guitar performances without needing any type of plugins. So you can do this for every section of your song and simply copy and paste the parts as needed. You'll probably encounter a few small spots here and there like a build or a special chord that only happens once in the song, and these might not have a duplicate part that you can use. In that case, I'll typically use the slide technique for those spots only and adjust the placement until it sounds just right. So those are the ways you can quickly and easily get a wide stereo guitar sound with a single guitar performance. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these, or maybe you have a different method that worked for you when you couldn't get a secondary guitar part. Now, as you continue recording your music and you're building your song, if you want a guide that'll walk you through every step of the process from songwriting and recording up through mixing and mastering, you can download the roadmap to a radio-ready song absolutely free as my gift to you by going to FromZeroToStudio.com/roadmap, and you can start improving how you're capturing and creating your music. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I'll see you on another video soon.